And now, WWAX Productions proudly presents The Beard and the Bees. And here is your host, The Beard.
Alright guys, so this is the first episode that we are going to do of The Beard and the Bees, your local music podcast. I want to say thank you for this opportunity. Today we have Mr. Adam Harris Thompson. We've known each other a little while, played a couple shows together. He's a great guy. So tell us a little bit more about your musical journey, man.
Okay, well, I started playing music in high school. Picked up guitar in the 10th grade, and I've been playing for about 14, 15 years now, and it was probably good 3 years or so after I started playing the guitar that I started playing publicly, and playing publicly then for me is a very different thing than it is from now. Then it was like whatever coffee shop or bookstore, any place I could get to let me play for free and just get a little bit of exposure and cut my teeth. But gradually I moved up and started playing a few more restaurants and bars, and guarantees started getting a little bit better, and then eventually, about 3 years ago I started doing this, or I guess 2 years ago, started doing this full time as my only source of income, really. So
I got you. I remember being there. I'm still technically there as far as my music. I just play wherever I can for the fun of it. I remember when I met you, you were driving buses locally. So we met at a, what was it, the Wednesday night in your house series that they were doing at MAD.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was also pretty cool. I mean, how would you label your stuff? It's always hard to put a label on your music, but
I think I would probably call it singer-songwriter, alternative, folksy,
right,
bluesy, whatever.
Because I know for me, when I say it's myself singer-songwriter, around here anyway, people are like, oh, so you just kind of play music. They don't get too excited about it, so that's why I kind of ask, give them a little something more to relate to.
For me, singer-songwriter is someone whose music kind of has a bit more of a goal behind it.
Right, for sure.
Lyrically, you have a particular message you're trying to say with each song you write, and you try to tell a story through the songs, not just about playing a C chord and an A minor chord for 4 or 5 minutes. It's the message behind it and what people can glean from that.
Right. So if you haven't had any background in the singer-songwriter side of music, it's more than just playing Freebird and hoping somebody gives you a tip.
Right. Well, if I tried to play Freebird, probably nobody would give me a tip because I wouldn't do it very well. But
right.
I mean, I can play the chords, but what people want to hear is the 6 minutes of guitar solos at the end. So
right.
Now, depending on who's playing guitar with me, we might be able to pull it off and do okay. But that's one of those songs that, of course, everybody gets irritated with the person who yells it out because it's like, oh yeah, sure, we haven't heard that before. But if somebody actually takes that song and covers it and nails it,
perfectly
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Right. No bashing on that song at all. It's a great song, and it's proven to stick around over the years, obviously. But it's just different if you're on the outside of music looking in, because singer-songwriter is more of a lifestyle, you could say, than just a style of music.
Yeah, there's definitely different classifications. I mean, and I don't necessarily stay true to just one. I mean, in order to do this for a living, there's maybe 1 or 2 gigs a month where the songs I write are celebrated if I'm lucky, and then the rest of the time I'm playing all the cover stuff, that people want to hear. And I mean, I cover music that I like, and I try to sneak a lot of songs that I want people to connect with under the radar. But you have to be careful depending on what venue you're playing at, because some venues want what they want, and you got to give them what they want, or they're not going to continue to book you. So.
Right, especially if you're trying to make it your career.
Right.
I know I found that out the hard way when I started getting my feet wet into what I like to call the Augusta music industry. It's a little bit different than I expected it to be. What a lot of people don't notice is we're not actually going out and playing our songs. I mean, you do get that opportunity, but it's kind of rare. You have to really play a lot of covers, get them into your playing before you can really jump into it.
There are some things that celebrate local songwriting. Ever since Mad Studios kind of closed their doors, Stoney's kind of moved his efforts over to That Place Coffee for the time being, and so there's the Cafe and Cushions thing at That Place Coffee that takes place every Saturday, I think, from like noon to 4-ish, and that is very much a celebration of songwriters and wanting to hear original stuff.
Definitely.
So there are some listening room type things available. There's actually a thing that I'm starting up at That Place Coffee. It's a thing that I've had going on for a long time, but about 5 years ago I had the vision for an alternative ministry, because I'm involved in church ministry and everything as well with my music. So I had an idea for an alternative ministry that is centered around honest Christian songwriting that has something to say, and the stories behind those songs, and kind of what spurred the songwriter to write it. And so that ministry is called Psalter Cafe. And so psalters traditionally are like these elaborate books with pictures and psalms, but it's really about the devotional qualities of the songs and like what you can glean from them and apply to your life to make it a little bit better, or more disciplined or whatever. And so Psalter Cafe is all about local songwriters who have written something inspirational. Doesn't necessarily have to be strictly a Christian song. I mean, I don't want it to necessarily be a whole lot to the contrary, but it's more about a positive impact type of ministry where you're bringing in songs that have a positive message.
Because over the last couple of years, I've noticed when I was probably early teenager, about 14 or 15, a lot of the stuff was more inspirational music that you'd hear on Christian radio rather than overtly praise. And then as I've gotten older, I've seen more and more strictly praise bands come into the scene, and stations like Air One, 88.3, which is not a bad thing. It's still ministry. But sometimes you just kind of miss that relatability of songs from people like Mercy Me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's still some honest songs being written, and I think that Christian songwriting and worship songwriting are different realms. A song that is just a song of faith that is a song you've written because of something somewhere you've been in your life, and something that you felt that God was speaking to you through, may or may not address God directly, or it might just talk about the story of what happened. And so that's where you kind of get into Christian songwriting a little bit, where it's more of a storytelling type piece about what God was doing in a situation, whereas a worship song to me is just very direct, addressing God directly and either praising Him for something or petitioning something of Him, or expressing some sort of emotion directly to Him. And so I use more of those type of songs on Sunday morning when I'm planning for my church.
Right.
But and it's a lot more rare that I incorporate the story songs on Sunday mornings just because I'm wanting the focus there to be more on corporate worship and people singing songs to God together. But so Salter Cafe is sort of more my platform for that, more where I get to spread those wings and fly, And there's a lot of songwriters in this area that I think are writing some good stuff that fits the Salter Cafe theme really well. Adam Sams comes to mind for sure. Joseph Norton writes some stuff like that. So and there's a number of artists, and I'm sure I'm leaving some out, but there's a number of artists that I've connected with their lyrics because they challenge me in some way, and so that's what I like for Salter Cafe is these songs that more than just stating something Christian, challenge you in some way to do something different or whatever with your life. So
now you said that it was going to be going on when at that place?
It's going to be, well, the first one's coming up this coming Sunday, January 15th, at that place coffee from 4:30 to 6. And Salter Cafe originally started back in 2012, I want to say. And we went for about 2 years at my church at the time, which was Covenant United Methodist Church. And then that church actually ended up closing its doors. The conference decided to go a different direction with what the church was doing there, and then try and get people into some other churches that were close by in the area. And so some group of people from that church formed the church I'm with now, but we're more nomadic. We rent our facility, so we don't really have the means to just do all these ministries throughout the week. So that's where the relationship with John at That Place Coffee kind of came into play, and I was like, hey, can I do something here? And actually Stoney stayed after me about it. Stoney, throughout the several years in between Salter Cafe ending at Covenant and becoming something at that place, Stoney had me do it a few times at Mad Studios, and kept staying after me. That's a good thing. You need to stay with it. And when Salter Cafe started out, it was really just a platform for the songs to be shared, and so we'd have 4 or 5 artists lined up across the evening, and each one would share 3 or 4 songs, and they would tell the story behind the song. This time we're kind of doing a relaunch, and it's taking a little bit different format. There's just going to be one song, and we're actually going to use that song as a sort of launching pad for some discussion questions as a group, and to kind of have some theological discussion about the subject matter of the song, and try and use it to encourage each other and that sort of thing. So it'll be a little bit more focused, I guess, on a particular theme each time. But I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. And there's a much larger, idealist, dreamy vision for that as well, for it to become eventually its own place with its own 4 walls, and kind of have this alternative ministry that's present in the bar scene. And because I feel like the alternative to the bar scene is something that has been quietly in demand in the church for a long time.
Oh yeah. Well, it's almost like, especially in the South, I'm not sure about the North, because the furthest north I've ever been is probably West Virginia, and that's not that far.
Right.
But here, it's the Bible Belt, so you assume everybody knows about Christ, and then they're just deliberately disobeying. But we have to remember that Jesus went to Zacchaeus' house, a known tax collector, which everybody hated, and tax collectors at that time were pretty sinful. They were just as bad as thieves. So Jesus actually sought out the sinner, didn't wait till the sinner came to him.
Right.
So, I mean...
It's ironic you bring that up, because I actually have a song I wrote about the story of Zacchaeus, and from the perspective of someone in the crowd. And in that song, I'm relating to the person in the crowd that's going to be bitter about that, because I feel like if I'm honest with myself, if I were to put myself in that situation, I'd like to think that I would understand the weight of who Jesus is and what his decision is there, and respect that. But in reality, I would probably be just as bitter as everyone else there.
Right. It's like, I'm a good person, come to my house.
I don't like the tax man very much. So I don't think that I would really appreciate Jesus choosing to hang out with a tax collector either. So
I think sometimes we just fail to realize that we all sin, and in God's eyes, a sin is a sin. No matter what the media blows up a sin to be worse or whatever. But sin's a sin, and we're all sinners. Just different sins carry harder consequences. So that's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to hear somebody else judging someone else.
Yeah, and that's not really the goal of what I'm doing at all. It's just, and I don't care to get into a whole lot of theology and whatever in this interview. It is more of it is what it is, take it for what you want sort of thing. If you would like that sort of thing, then by all means come. But if you wouldn't, then I completely understand that as well. I don't judge anybody for their different walk in life, and I think that's important to bear in mind when you're trying to head something like this up. But I do feel like I can't ignore that side of who I am either. I think that inevitably what I believe is going to be present in what I write, and what I believe is going to be present in the way I carry myself. And so, yes, I do play in bars, and I play in restaurants, and I play all the covers, and I do all that stuff, and I enjoy it. And then I also play in churches, and I play in ministries, and I have goals and things on that side of things. And it's not like any effort on my part to keep those things separate. I'm going to be the same person whether I'm here or whether I'm there. And that's something that I hope people can respect and connect with about me. But the whole goal with Salter Cafe is not so much to shake my fist at the bar scene and say they're doing something wrong, because the bar scene and the restaurants and everywhere that I play, I depend on them for so much of my income. I'm not looking to stand up against them and be like this competitive voice at the table of it. They need to stop being who they are. I recognize who they are and respect it, and I enjoy being in those places. But I also feel like there's not a place right now outside of the church for Christian songwriters to have a gig and develop and have this sort of place to grow in their craft, like the folks in the mainstream do. Because you've got bars and restaurants where people can grow in their songwriting, but there's not really a whole lot of places that are just booking Christian songwriters. You've got Christian radio, and you've got church, but pretty much there's a very, very huge gap in the middle between the youth band who won the talent show at the church and Mercy Me, who's playing on the radio.
Right.
There's like, you jump from this one across the Grand Canyon to that one.
Yeah.
There's not like a whole lot of places in between for them to just grow and develop in that. And so what I want for Salter Cafe is to have a place where the story behind the song is important and people can connect with that, but also have like, a place where Christian artists can grow and have a regular place to play outside of just a service at their church.
So unfortunately, the last part of that interview we didn't catch because the computer just kind of went dead on me for a second. I didn't even think about it falling asleep. But since we are running out of time, we're just going to go over and let Mr. Adam do his thing and play us a couple of great songs. One is West Virginia, which I honestly love that song when you play it. It's a great song. And you said you're going to do another one?
Yeah, I'll do West Virginia and Hunger. So.
Okay, we'll take it away.
So this is West Virginia. The song is available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, all those fun places online. If you enjoy the song, please go buy it from me. Since we missed the part of the interview where I was talking about it a little bit, I'll just say that this song was kind of a personal song about how right after college, I felt this this sort of need to get away and a desire to go start my life over somewhere new, and thinking that would make some sort of huge difference. And ultimately, I kind of had to wrestle with that ideology and find my way back to realizing that if I wanted to experience any real change in the areas of my life that I had a problem with, I was going to have to actually do something and change something about what I was doing. So, this song is kind of about that sort of journey to understanding. So.
Town, another blue sky falling on my head. Another place to make my bed in West Virginia. Colorado. Maybe not town. West Virginia. I want frequent flying miles and leave my baggage by the turnstiles. Then I feel the shockwave from the tires, cold times on my bathroom floor. They remind me I've been dreaming of home. West Virginia. Colorado. Maybe Montana. Let's go. West Virginia.
Second song I'll play for you is Hunger, and despite not being recorded or released anywhere yet, this song, once I do eventually finish my full length, which who knows when that'll be, I think this one might be the one that sort of takes the cake off the record, you know, the one that everybody sort of connects with. And this song's about going through tough times and facing adversity and sort of being able to look back upon past times you were in adversity and seeing that you came out all right, and trusting that things are going to turn out okay this time, and try your best to get through it and learn from it, and let it shape you into who you need to be. So The song's called The Hunger.
I can sense my heart has left my chest. So wander through the wilderness and outside of the place of race tonight. So in spite of all my cloudy, I'm leaning on the gravity. Drag me through this darkness tonight. I'm suddenly down. Take all my hunger. 'Cause I'm here taking dives, pointing my fingers again, trying to trust, but I'm mostly pretending. Best of the world, will it ever end? Seems every time I'm looking back, seeing where I've took a track away from some other crooked way. Still analysis, paralysis leads back to the cities. Won't come at least I'm okay. I'm silently down. Sing all my hunger, 'cause I'm here taking dives, pointing my fingers again, trying to trust, but I'm mostly pretending. This other world, come settle me down. Take all my hunger, 'cause I'm here taking knives, pointing my fingers again, trying to trust, but I'm mostly pretending. I'm trying to trust, but I'm mostly pretending. Oh, I'm trying to trust, but I'm mostly pretending. Yes, I'm wrong. Someday, one day I might win.
Awesome. That one is very beautiful.
Appreciate it, man.
I definitely understand what you mean by take the cake.
I think I might have botched one of the words in the second verse there. Our friend over here that started using the weed eater or edge or whatever it is.
Yeah.
In the song.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of started choking on some of the stuff he's kicking up that I'm allergic to, I think. But yeah, that line in the second verse that I think I botched is analysis paralysis leads back to the hypothesis that I won't come out this time okay. And I think that's something we all experience where we overthink the scenario and we overthink what we're going through and allow it to get us back to this theory that, you know, we're not going to be okay and everything's not going to turn out all right. So hate that my allergies started kicking up right in one of the most important lines of the song.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I'm hoping that we didn't get too much of him in the background
Yeah.
to ruin that beautiful song.
Yeah. I think you'll still be able to hear it. It's all good. Man.
Yeah, a little bit of character. Well, thanks for coming on for this very special first episode. We really appreciate it. I'm sorry we didn't get to spend more time out here. Unfortunately, duty calls.
It's okay. We can always do it again.
Yeah, man. Sorry for the troubles with the computer, but thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I just want to say I kind of feel outmatched on this episode because my beard is so short and so much less glorious than this guy's. But if you're interested in seeing more of his stuff, I'm sure he has videos up on his social media, Facebook. I know we're friends on Facebook. I know I have your Facebook. So I'll definitely drop that link below because this is going on YouTube as our free source of posting, I guess you could say. But I will drop that link down in the description and let you guys check him out. You can check out his social media for new shows coming up. Definitely some shows that you're going to want to see. I know every show I've been to with this guy, he's had some pretty awesome guests there with him.
Thank you.
They really compliment.
I also have a website. You can find all that stuff there. Just AdamHarrisThompson.com.
Okay. Awesome. I'll drop that below as well. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for tuning in to The Beard and the Bees.
This has been a WWAX production.